So I'm making this video for anyone who is looking for a microphone solution for their videos. Maybe they want to shoot videos professionally, maybe for interviews, for YouTube, for vlogging, or just for fun. You just need very nice audio for whatever you want to do. Or maybe you just want to maybe just mic your instrument, or maybe sing, or just do something on social media, whatever it is you want to do. I've been using a shotgun microphone for most of my videos on YouTube. I use a Panasonic 2800A, and it's kind of like a semi-professional but a very cheap microphone. I tried to do a review on that recently. If you need to look at the microphone and see what the microphone can do, whether it suits your needs, you can actually see that video in the link in the description or the tag above. But then I've been looking into these cheap USB Type-C microphones, and then I've been looking like, okay, just to give you an idea of how well this cheap Type-C small wireless microphones, how well they can do, just to give you kind of like a gauge of how well they can do. Why not just do a review and then put them against something like the Panasonic 2800, which I'm actually using to record this video. And so I got a very cheap one online. It was kind of actually like a risk because there were more expensive ones, but then I went for the cheapest one with the most features packed into it. And so this was the, I think online they called it the K9 or the K10. This was what came in the box. I got this off JUMIA for about between 6,000 and 7,000 naira. Yeah, and this was what came in the package, and there's actually no name I can see here except for the Chinese name on top, and then wireless microphone on top of it and all that. And then it says for Type-C by the side, and on the other side it says for live shows, for interviews, for vlog, short video. You know, the English is never really too fantastic on these devices. And then at the back it says plug and play, 30-meter barrier-free reception. Interesting. Precise audio, intelligent noise reduction, clear sound, highly sensitive, widely compatible. Well, let's see if all that is true. And so, opening the box, you have three components of the device. We have the transmitter, the receiver in the middle. This is the one that goes to your phone right here. And so this is it. USB Type-C on top right there, and that's the part that enters your phone. It has no button on top. You just plug and play. You just connect it to your phone and then it comes on by itself. And then if you look at the side of it, it has a Type-C port there, and there is an indicator LED on the other side which actually blinks blue light when it's on. There are two transmitters which actually have the clip mics on top of them, and then they have this foam on top which is kind of like for wind and all that, wind reduction and all that. And so these ones have buttons at their back. There are buttons there that you can use to put them on and off, and then on the side right here they have the USB Type-C ports which you can use to charge them. And then of course the clip part which you can clip to whatever, wherever you want to clip it to, your shirt or whatever. And so that's basically it for that. And then there's the other one, so two of this. So you have two. You can use it for an interview style kind of thing. You have the person doing the interview, and then you have the interviewee. But then you have two microphones that come with it and one receiver. Okay, it's fine. This video is meant to be a short video, so I'm not going to be messing around too much. And so connecting the receiver to your phone is quite easy. So for this particular model, it actually has a Type-C port, so you can use this with your iPhone if you have a lightning port and all that, or with the usual 3.5mm jack. This is only for Type-C devices. So if your camera has a Type-C microphone port or your phone has a Type-C, this can work. And so I'll be testing this with my Samsung Note 10 and see how well it does. And so I have my Samsung Note 10 right here, and this is the audio. The audio you're listening to right now is the audio of my Samsung Note 10 Plus without the microphone. And so I'll be connecting the microphone now and then comparing the sound to what you're hearing now. This is from the phone without any microphone, straight up from the phone, I'm in front of the phone and I'm recording what the phone is picking up straight away. And so I'll be connecting it right now. And so now I have the microphone connected to I have the receiver connected to the Type-C port on my um, device on my phone, and then the microphone itself, the wireless microphone, is what I'm speaking into right now. What does it sound like? What does it feel like? Is there any difference, any noticeable difference? Do you feel this is better than the phone? There's any comparable, difference between this and my professional Panasonic 2800A? So what do you think about the way this sounds? And then trying to record at distances from, so this is kind of like an arm's length, my full arm's length, and then I'm speaking into the USB microphone right now, the Type-C USB microphone right now. How does it sound? How does it sound like? What do you think? I'm going to switch back to the microphone on the phone, and let's see if there's any significant difference. And so this is at kind of like an arm's length from my phone, and this is how it sounds like. Any significant difference? And then this is at an arm's length from my boom microphone, my Panasonic 2800A. How does it sound like? So what do you think about the sound quality of these little things right here? Personally, I think these things sound fantastic for the kind of sound that these little things produce. This is so good. Very, very good. Especially for someone who moves around a lot. If you're traveling and all that, you can't be moving around and then carrying this my long boom microphone, and probably you have to need a mic stand like what I'm using right now in front of me here. You have to use the mic stand, you have to move around and all that. This is, and then the wiring and everything, connecting it to my camera and all that, that is a long process, especially if you're someone that shoots most of the time on your phone, and maybe the audio from your phone is not all that fantastic. You can use these microphones and get really good sound. Talking about noise reduction for these microphones, they pretty much reduce noise, and so I will let you listen to what my Panasonic boom mic sounds like without noise reduction. So my Panasonic boom mic, I use it, I don't do any form of editing. The only editing I do to it while shooting with it is just to reduce the noise reduction, because it's a pretty sensitive mic. It's a condenser mic and all that, but then it has high sensitivity for directional picking sounds in the direction it faces for even long distances. But then it also picks a lot of environmental sounds, the boom mic, except I put it on the boom mode. So I'll put it on the normal mode now, and then try and see, try and let you understand how noisy the environment I am is, comparing that with the sound you just heard now on this microphone. So how well is this microphone actually reducing the noise? So right now what you can hear is the Panasonic 2800A without any form of noise reduction. So this is how noisy the environment can be when I'm recording on this microphone. Now compare that to what you heard initially on this microphone in the same environment, and I didn't have to put any form of noise reduction on this microphone. I have the receiver connected to the Type-C port on my device on my phone, and then the microphone itself, the wireless microphone, is what I'm speaking into right now. You can see how much of noise this thing reduces. I would personally say that this thing is a fantastic product. But are there any disadvantages to using this product? Of course, there are disadvantages, the biggest of which is the battery life. The battery life of this doesn't last long. Maximum 2 hours, maybe 3 hours. The other thing is probably just compatibility, but then I don't think that's an issue. This is the Type-C model. If you need one that can work with your iPhone, you can get the one that has the lightning port. You can also get the one that has 3.5mm jack. There are various variants for this, and then there are some that have adapters that you can use for whatever purpose you want to use it. You want to use it for a camera, and your camera just has 3.5mm jack, you can adapt this to that, but I don't think that's a con. The other disadvantage I would say is that you have very little control over the kind of sound you get. You know, it's pretty much does the noise reduction from scratch, and if you want to really get all the juice from your voice, maybe you want to get all the frequencies, all the clean frequencies, you might not really get that here. But really, who cares? Once you have nice sound, I mean, I can hear you audibly and all that, you know, this is a social media kind of stuff, you know, not for the studio. Of course, I don't expect you to be using this stuff for studio. The third con will be the distance. So the more you start increasing the distance between the receiver and the microphone, the more you start having interferences, and then you start having these funny sounds, and then sometimes the whole thing seizes and all that. So usually within a distance of about 10 meters you're fine, there are no issues. But then once you're going beyond 10 meters, getting to 20 meters, then maybe if walls come in between, you know, the receiver and the transmitter, there begins to be issues. And if you're somewhere where you have a lot of wireless microphones, there can be a lot of interference, because this is not really built to, you know, deal with interference. I would not recommend using this in an environment where you have other wireless mics. I don't think you enjoy it. But by and large, aside from these cons, you're good with this microphone. This microphone does very well. If you have a YouTube channel you want to start, if you have interview style, you know, videos you want to do, personally, I think this works for me. If I want to do, you know, if I want to move around and then, you know, do some sort of short form of interview, you know, speak with someone, and then, you know, maybe kind of like a moving vlog kind of stuff. And if you're not so particular about the cons I mentioned, I think this just works fine for you. But if you want studio quality kind of sound, you know, with all the richness of all the frequencies and all of the sound, you want something very, you know, crisp, something very full and all that, you can consider getting a studio mic, a condenser mic, or you can consider getting something like this condenser mic that I'm using right here, the Panasonic 2800A. It's not really the best out there, but you know, for the price, it's quite cheap. When I was getting this microphone, this Panasonic 2800, I got it for about 10,000 naira, and I think it's still roughly around that price right now. So you can also check the review in the tag above or in the description below if you need clarifications on this. I have a full review that talks about this microphone and what it can do and what it can't do. It's actually a very detailed review. It's actually a detailed review that gives you all the use scenarios and how best this can make you sound. If you have any questions about these little things right here, you can ask in the comment section below. And then if not, I think it's time to go record some vlogs with this.